Hello students, this is Gautam Sinha. In my previous video, I had discussed about the nutrition in human being. This nutrition in human being is from the chapter of life processes of class 10. In that particular class, I had discussed about the alimentary canal. Now I am going for the continuation of the same topic. Today I am going to discuss about digestive gland and how the food is digested by the different enzymes. Physiology of digestion. That means the topic is physiology of digestion. As I told you, alimentary canal is a hollow tube which starts from the mouth and ends to the anus. Again, for the sake of the convenience for my dear students, I need to draw a diagram, and then after how the food is going to be digested at each level, that means that in the different digestive organ, I am just going to discuss. So very quickly I am just going to draw a diagram. This is the food pipe. This is the stomach, and this coiling is the small intestine. This is the appendix. Now this is the ascending colon. This is the transverse colon. This is the descending colon, rectum, and finally anus. There both the ends are open. Apart from all these, there is a presence of one more digestive organ, that is liver, and on this side there is pancreas. I am just going to start how the digestion taking place. Actually, the digestion starts at this level, that means in the region of mouth. The first digestion is starting at the level at this organ in the mouth. Saliva contains in the mouth the enzyme called salivary amylase. Salivary amylase. It is also called ptyalin. This salivary amylase breaks the starch into maltose. Remember it, starch and maltose both are the carbohydrates. But the one difference between them, the starch is a complex carbohydrate. It's a complex carbohydrate. It is a polysaccharide. Whereas the maltose is disaccharide. And this complete conversion is taking place in the presence of this enzyme, that means the salivary amylase. As the first step of digestion taking place at the level of mouth, then the food is traveling through this tubular part, that is esophagus. As I already told you in my previous video, esophagus. This is also called food pipe. Now the food is going to enter in this sac-like structure, that is the stomach. Before entering the stomach, the food travels in this esophagus in a valve-like manner. That means it travels in this way. The esophagus is like this. When food is traveling, then it is going to be relaxed in this way. As the food reaching to the next part, that means if the food pushing forward, gets pushed forward, then it happens in this way. This movement is referred as peristaltic movement, and this complete concept is called peristalsis. So student, it's one of the most common question which ever used to come in the examination. What is peristalsis or what is peristaltic movement? Rhythmic contraction and relaxation of this esophagus, of the walls of the esophagus, while traveling of the food molecules through it. Now, the food is going to enter in the stomach. In the stomach, the food is stored up to 2 hours to 2 to 2.5 hours. That means maximum 2 to 2.5 hours. And now the digestion, the second digestion is going to be started here. The stomach secretes, the walls of the stomach secretes gastric juices. Gastric juices. This stomach secretes at this level gastric juices. Gastric juices are axial, second one is mucus, and the third one is pepsin. Each of these 3 different gastric juices perform the different activities. Axial, now I am just going to discuss one by one the function of each and every gastric juices. This axial makes the food acidic so that this pepsin could work easily. This is the first function of the axial. Axial kills the harmful microbes which are coming through the food. That means if any germs are coming at this level, then the life cycle of that particular germ is going to be completed here. That means they are going to be dead by the action of this axial. And apart from these 2 functions, axial also stops the functioning of this enzyme, salivary amylase. So these are the functions of axial. There are many more functions which you can study and which you can go also for this one. Like axial is also responsible for the conversion of pepsinogen into pepsin. Prorenin into renin. Renin is not being discussed here. Renin is also prorenin to renin. So these are all the functions of axial. Students, now I am going to for this mucus, the second gastric juice. Mucus, what do it do? One of the most important function. Mucus protects this inner lining of the stomach. From whom? from the action of this HCl as well as the pepsin. That means this mucus protects this inner lining. And if this lining is not going to be protected, then the person may suffer from ulcers, wounds, and they too have so many digestive problems. So mucus, the function of mucus is only that, protects the inner lining. Next one, third one, final one of the gastric juice is the pepsin. Pepsin is a protein digesting enzyme. That means this enzyme, this pepsin, this gastric juice acts on the protein. Simply you can write it. This pepsin breaks the proteins into proteoses and peptones. Actually, in secondary level, you need to only know that this pepsin is going to be broken down into the proteoses and peptones. So, this is all about of the function of gastric juices. After this, now the food is going to be entered in the small intestine. But at the entry level of the small intestine, as I told you earlier also, at the level of this entry level of small intestine, here it also receiving the juices from pancreas as well as liver. This is the liver, and this one is the pancreas. Both plays vital role in the digestion of the food. Their secretion is directly reaching at the entry level, that is the duodenum, at the region of duodenum of small intestine, the secretion from liver as well as from the pancreas. The question might be coming, what does the liver secretes? What does the pancreas is going to be secreted? Students, now going to give you a detailed concept. Liver secretes bile juice, but that bile juice is temporarily stored first in the gallbladder. This gallbladder temporarily storing the bile juice, and from the gallbladder, now this bile juice reaching to the level of duodenum. This bile juice breaks the fat, breaks down the fat molecules. The one term which we are using is emulsification. Liver secretes bile, and bile is responsible for the emulsification of fats. Emulsification, that means breaking down simply, layer by layer. Fat is a big globule. This is the first digestion of the fat taking place with the help of this liver. Now, the next organ, next digestive gland, pancreas. Pancreas is a heterocrine gland. On one side, pancreas secretes insulin and glucagon, but on the other side, also it secretes pancreatic juice. The endocrine part of the pancreas secreting insulin and glucagon, but the exocrine part secretes the juice that is called pancreatic juice. Pancreas secretes juice called pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juices again containing the enzymes, the different enzymes. They are amylase, lipase, and trypsin. Students, you can make a one formula at here, ALT. It's also one of the key in the keyboard in computer device. ALT. A stands for amylase, L for lipase, T for trypsin. Again, these different enzymes have a different function. Amylase, it's very easy. Amylase is responsible for breaking of starch or a carbohydrate simply. Lipase is responsible for breaking of lipid, and this trypsin is responsible for again the digestion of protein. It is a proteolytic enzyme. Those enzymes which breaks down the protein, they are called proteolytic enzymes. So in this way, these are all the functions of pancreatic juices. One more thing is there. This liver and pancreas have a common duct, and this common duct is reaching to the level of duodenum. Now, next, in this intestine also has intestinal juices. These all students, the role of the different we are studying here, the role of each and every different enzymes. What does they do? This intestine also secrete juices that is called intestinal juices. Specifically, small intestine. Basically, the 90% of the digestion is completed at this level. That means in the level of duodenum, and already I told you in a previous class. Now again I am going to write it. This region is called jejunum, and this is called ileum. 90% digestion taking place at the region of this BJI. That means duodenum, jejunum, ileum. The intestine secreting juices, they are called intestinal juices. The another name of the intestinal juices is succus entericus. This is the new term for you. Actually, biology is all about the terms and the terminologies. Succus entericus. So I am just going to writing the name of this. The board is completely filled up. Intestine secretes intestinal juices. Intestinal juices. They are also called succus entericus. This succus entericus contains so many enzymes like sucrase, which act on sucrose, maltase, which act on maltose, and also invertase like this. But you need to know only this succus entericus again going to break down the food molecules at this level, that means in the region of small intestine. Small intestine means the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. These are the different parts of the small intestine. Now, when the complete digestion is taking place at this region, then their absorption is also needed. So, one very interesting thing, this small intestine, I am just drawing a magnified view of this small intestine. This small intestine has finger-like projections finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are called villi, and the food is here after the digestion. This villi has a broad surface area and has a dense network of capillaries. As the food is digested at this region, so their absorption is taking place by this help of this villi, and the digested food is going to be discharged in the blood stream. The digested, the simplified soluble, the simplified end product of different nutrients is going to be absorbed here by this villi. As I already told you, maximum digestion, that means almost 90% of the digestion is taking place at this region. Now, after the digestion, the food is going to be entered in the large intestine. Large intestine. Basically, or you can say in very straight words, practically, there is no digestion taking place at the large intestine. Only absorption of water and the minerals taking place at this area. Remember it, large intestine has three parts. Again, cecum, this region, this is called cecum. This complete is colon. A colon comprises of ascending, transverse and descending colon. Complete all this colon. This is rectum. So, in large intestine, there is no digestion. Finally, the wastes are going to be assembled at the region of rectum, and they are going to be released by the opening, the final opening of this alimentary canal. This is called anus. So, in this way, what it happens, the food that is being taken at the region of mouth, the digestion taking place at different level, in the region of esophagus, in the region of stomach, at the region of small intestine, and absorption is also taking place at region of large intestine. Egestion taking place, release of nitrogenous waste, elimination of waste is the region of anus, rectum. So this is the complete concept of the physiology of the digestion. I hope, students, you might have gone through my class and might have benefited so much. So subscribe my channel and like my videos. Again, in the next video, I am going to discuss the next life process.